Yo, welcome back to the Python tutorial. In this video, we're going to be talking about data types. Data types are very important in programming because variables can hold many types of data. And in this video, we're going to be talking about the basics. We're going to talk about the text and the numeric. So let's dive in. So the first type of data type we're going to be talking about is the text data type. It's also known as the string data type. To create a string in Python, you can use the single quote like hello, and that would be a string, or you can use the double quotes, and that would also be a string. Python doesn't really care, because let's print out both. If you print out single quote hello, and then you print out a double quote hello, let's save it and run it. They both print out the same thing because Python doesn't really care, but it's good programming practice to stick with the one because it makes your code more readable. And strings can also be assigned to variables. So let's say a equals, and we can say hello world, and this string, it will be assigned to this variable. So let's just quickly print out a, and you have printed out this hello world. You can create multi-line strings in Python. To do that, you have to say a equals, and you have to use three double quotation marks or single quotation marks. So you could be like, and let's say this is a multi-line string. It is pretty cool. And then to end it, you have to use a triple again. And let's just save it and print a, and let's run it. And you get, this is a multi-line string. It's pretty cool. And it would be the same thing if you did three double quotation marks. If you go down here and do three more, let's save it and let's run it again. You get, this is a multi-line string, and it's pretty cool. So in Python, every single string is an array of characters, meaning we can access every single letter and character inside the string. So if let's delete this and let's say a equals hello world, save that. And to access the element, we have to use something called the slice syntax. So if we want to get the h from the hello world, we got to say print a, because that's the variable we want to use, and then we have to put brackets because that's what you have to do for the slice, and where you want to start from. So we want 0, because in programming everything starts with 0. So this would be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It doesn't start with 1. It's not 1, 2, 3. It's kind of crazy like that, but that's how programming works. So if we save that and let's run it, we get the h. So what if we wanted a range? Instead of just the h, we wanted the whole word hello. So for that, we can use a range slice. So to do that, we want to start with the 0. We want to put the colon, saying we want a range, and we want to know where to end. So if we want the whole word hello, we got to do 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, but it's not inclusive, so you have to do one more. You gotta put 5. So if you save that and run it, you get the word hello. So in Python, you can also go backwards in a string. So instead of starting from the start, we want to go backwards, and let's say we want the ORL. To do that, let's delete this. We want to start at a -4. -4 because it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and when you go backwards, the first letter is the exclusive one, so you have to go one more, colon, where you want to end. So we want the 0, 1, so we want the -1 here. So if you save that and run the code, you get the ORL. So Python has many built-in methods to strings, and what methods are is increase functionality to strings so we can do some other stuff to it. So let's say we want to get the length of this string here. What we have to do is print len, opening and closing parentheses, and type in a. That's the length we want. We want the length of a. And if we save that and run, we get 11 because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There is 11 characters in the string. There's also other methods you can use. For example, let's say we have some white space here. If you use the a.strip method, opening closing parentheses, let's run that. You see that the space that we added before is gone. That was what the strip method does. It just removes all the extra space at the beginning and closing part of the string. And let's say we wanted every single letter in the string. Oh, so let me delete this really quick. We want every single letter to be lowercase. To do that, we just type in a again, dot lower, and then the parentheses. Let's close that. Let's save. Let's run the code, and you see how every single character is lowercase. And otherwise, if you want everything to be uppercase, we can just do a dot upper. Close that. And let's close this. Let's save and run. Everything is in uppercase. There's also the replace method. So let's say we want, if we print a dot replace, and we want to replace the h, we have to just type in h and what we want to replace it with. So with a j, that's what we want to replace it with, uppercase j. And let's run the code, and we get Jello World. There's also the split method. It's gonna split the string when it finds what we put in it. So let's say we said a dot split, and we want to split when there is the comma. So let's just add a comma here, and let's just save and run it. You see it splits the string, hello and world, because it found this comma here, so it takes that off and it keeps going, and there's the other half of the string. So if you want to combine two strings in Python, it's pretty simple. All you have to do is a equals hello, and let's say we have b equals world. Let's save that, and to put them together, it'll just be c equals b a plus b. If we save that and run it, actually we gotta print out the c. Let's save that and let's run it. We get hello world because it puts them right together and we don't have any space. So to add space, it would just be a plus space and then plus b. And let's run it again. We get the hello world. So we can also format strings in Python, because let's say you want to add a number to C. So let's just say we want to add, let's create a new variable num equals 37, and we want to add num. Let's save that and run the code. We get an error because in Python you can't add a number to a string, but you can get around that with formatting the string. So let's just delete that. So let's say we have C equals hello world, and then we have opening bracket. So to add the num to it, so let me add the num back again. It goes 37. To add num back into C, all we have to do is c.format, and let's put in num. And if you print that, let's run the code, we get hello world 37 because this open bracket is saying, hey, I can have a variable, what do you want me to be? And with the format button, it says we want you to be 37, so it puts the 37 value inside that bracket. And you can have multiple of these brackets inside a statement. So let's say we want to have another number, let's say num2 equals, let's say 48. And to do that, all you have to do is space, another opening and closing bracket, put a comma here, and then num2. Save it, and A equals hello world 37 and 48. You can also do the simple string formatting, so that, because in Python 3 and above, you can just say print f and then the string you want. Let's say hello world again, and then the two numbers that we want, we put a bracket. We can put num, another bracket, and then num2. If you print this out and run it, you get hello world 37 and 48. Because this is saying the format, it's like a shortcut to the format. It's in hello world, put in num here, and then put in num2 here. And so that's how you add different values into strings. So the next type of data we're going to be talking about is going to be the numeric, and there's three different kinds. There's the integer, the float, and the complex. So the integer is going to be a whole number. It can be negative or positive, and it can be of unlimited length. So if let's say we have A equals 999 and B equals negative 1239 as print, and there's a handy function in Python. We can just say type, and we can say A, and we can print type B. Let's save that and let's run. You get both are going to be integers. The other numeric type in Python is going to be a float. So what a float is, it's a number, positive or negative, and it has to contain one or more decimals. So A equals 7.0, that would be a float, or B equals negative 6.245, that would also be a float. And if we print type A, and then if we print the type B, let's save it and run, you get both class float. And then for the third type, you're gonna get the complex. So a complex number is an imaginary number, and J is written as the imaginary part. So we can have A equals 7J, and B equals 89J. Let's just save it. Let's print type of A. Let's print the type of B. And if you save that and run the code, you get both complex. You can also change the types of the numerics. So let's say A equals 7, but you want to change it to a complex, so you have to be, let's say B equals complex, and then let's just put 7. I mean A. Because that's the variable. And if we print type of B, save, run the code, you get type complex. And let's say if you want to change, let's say C equals and you want to change this A into a float, you just have to type in float of A, and let's say you wanted to change C, which is a float, let's say D equals int, you can change it back into an integer. Let's just save that, and let's print the type of C, and then let's print the type of D. And if you save that and run it, you get the float, because you're changing the A, which is an integer first, and change it to a float, and then we change it back to an integer when we say the variable D equals int C. Also handy tip, when you divide numbers in Python, it creates a float. So let's just say A equals 14 divided by 7. Let's save that and let's print A. Let's run the code. You get 2.0. Even though 7 goes perfectly into 14, you get 2 as a float. But if you want int, you can just do like we did earlier, int 14 divided by 7. Let's save that, and let's run the code again, and you get the 2. Oh, and I forgot to say earlier, complex numbers can't be changed into any other type. It has to stay a complex number. Thank you for watching this video. And in the next video, we're going to be talking about the more complicated types of data. We're going to be talking about collections. So thanks again for watching the video, and see you in the next one.